everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another episode on my podcast, Millennial Hacker. Here today, I am with Lonnie, otherwise known as Trading with Lonnie. So Lonnie, I've watched your videos for some time now. First things first, really glad to have you on here, man. Like honestly, it's really a pleasure to
I'm
have
glad
you
to
on.
be
How you
here. I'm
doing?
glad to be here.
That's awesome, man. I mean,
I'm doing wonderful. Doing wonderful.
phenomenal, dude. I mean,
Um,
you've been
you
killing
know,
it. But no, but go ahead, man.
thank
Like,
you,
so
thank you, thank you.
so tell us a little bit more about you. Now I know who you are, but go ahead and tell the audience here just a little bit more about who you are and what do you do.
Okay, sure. So my full name is Jelani Campbell. I am from North Carolina, Greensboro, and I am, no different from a lot of people. I'm a simple person. I go to school. I'm not someone like extraordinary. I'm a simple person that likes to study. But, before the pandemic, I was into a whole lot of other things. I'm actually a content creator. I've been doing YouTube for about 4 years, but I've been doing like entertainment. So in the entertainment industry, like dance videos, reaction videos, all those type of entertainment, content that
Right,
people
right,
usually watch. And, when the pandemic hit, it was a time for me to really reflect and think about other things that I wanted to do, right? Entertainment industry, as we know, it's very hard to get into and you won't really get paid as much because most of your content is copyright, right? Because you're doing content from other people's work. We think about reaction videos, you're reacting to someone else's work. Dance
right.
videos, you're dancing to other music that's not yours.
Mm-hmm.
So throughout the pandemic, I really had to ask myself, what can I do that will benefit me in the long run, right? So I think I have it right here, but one book that I read that really changed my mindset was The Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. I'm not sure if you heard of it,
Oh yeah.
but he basically just talks about the four major like categories of work: self-employment, employment, investing, and business. And I don't know what clicked, but I just really wanted to get into the whole investing realm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my friend was actually telling me about Forex, right?
Right.
And most people, it happens to everyone, when you're first introduced to Forex, they talk about IML Academy,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
It's very popular. They make it seem easy. You can make money very fast. And of course, my friend's showing me all this money in my face. Who wouldn't take this opportunity?
Exactly.
So I'm not sure if I'm going off the question
Oh
of
no,
just
you're
who I
good.
am and stuff like
No,
that.
you're
But
good. No, tell your story, man. Tell your story.
okay, great, great.
Great.
So yeah, I joined IML Academy and um it wasn't too long until I figured out it was kind of like a scam, right? um,
Right.
I wanted to learn how to trade. They were pushing how to recruit, and I guess the one thing I really learned from IML Academy was how to speak to people. I guess how to be confident, how to recruit, right? How to
Right.
actually, you know, get people interested into something. That's like the only thing I really got out of it. But I didn't really learn how to trade. So I was about 2 months into the academy. Wasn't really seeing results. It was all recruiting. I think I hit P150, but that's nothing to celebrate because that's like $35 a week. That's less than whatever I was doing before. But
Exactly.
they try to make it seem like it's amazing, like
I
it's this big
swear.
thing. They make a poster. Yeah. But anyways,
Yeah.
I really had to take the time to learn the skill. Right, Forex is a skill. It's not something you can learn in a day, a week, maybe not a month. You have to take components and learn each component. Right. I kind of think of it as editing. You are a YouTuber yourself. Editing, you can't just learn how to edit everything in one day. You got to take bits and bits and bits and then combine it into one thing, right? So with Forex, I really had to do the same thing. And one thing that I had to do was delete social media. And the reason for that was because a lot of people, including myself, we tend to compare our results to other people we see on Instagram, and we might not see like the whole work behind the camera.
Right.
So
The
it's
whole
very
story.
easy, right? So it's like if this person can do that, I can do it too. But in reality, they probably had more experience, right?
Right.
So I really had to disconnect from the internet and really just focus on how and why I wanted to get into Forex. So I picked up on some courses. I have this book as well. I read this amazing book right here, Naked Forex. It talks about
Very good.
naked charts, so like just reading straight price action. And honestly, just practice. A lot of people they try to flip money fast, but people don't realize if you can flip money fast and make money in a fast rate, you can also lose money at a fast rate. So it's
Mm-hmm.
all about being consistent, right? So I was taking my time, I hopped in a demo account, and honestly, I didn't see results until months to see consistent results, like actual consistent results. I had a plan, I had the schedule, but before that, it was all kind of just, oh, let me just kind of wing it. So
Right.
I kind of saw the in and outs. I took all the L's. So what I'm doing now is kind of starting my own brand. So Trading with Lonnie, it's like my own business, right? I'm trying to help people, shorten their learning curve. So you think if I can mentor, I'm not someone, I don't expect people to stay with me, right? I don't want to take anyone's money. I want to make people independent in this whole trading industry because these MLMs make a lot of people, especially minorities, dependent on their services, which are completely free on like TradingView. You can just go to Baby Pips. So my whole goal is to shorten everyone's learning curve and help them learn Forex at a smoother route, right?
Right.
So that's kind of like where I'm going right now, and that's where I've been. So yeah.
No, absolutely. And thank you so much for sharing your piece and sharing that story. And like, yeah, I mean, I can relate heavy because I mean, I have my experience being in IM Academy, when I first got introduced to it, of course, like same thing you said, like you're hearing all this great stuff, but they're making it show like it works, but not the full story of like,
Right,
well,
right,
how
right,
does it
right.
work? So of course, you could be hyped up. I remember I was hyped. I'm like, you know what? Why not give it a shot? And everything. And you really start to realize, once you were in there, you're like, man, not only are they more focused on recruiting, but like you're dependent on them.
Right, right.
You're not even an independent, like the stuff, you just said, anybody else that's watching, Trading View and Baby Pips teaches the same principle, but if not, I mean, honestly, better, in my opinion. The only thing that, really drives those people in is really just the copy and paste, earn while you learn and whatnot and whatever it may be. But it's just like, in the end of the day, if that company were to shut down, fingers crossed, it's like you gotta ask that person, it's like, can you trade? And I told people that the
Right.
moment I made my exit, because I'm making this clear, I'm not in that anymore, but I've been out for a while. But I tell people in that, I'm like, you got to think, if something happens to them, do you actually know how to do this? Many people say yes or no, but at the same time, their results aren't showing. You know what I mean? So I definitely can relate and, definitely see what you mean when it comes to, IMO and whatnot and all these other Forex MLMs. So you said that you were creating a course, you want to shorten the learning curve and whatnot. So tell us a little bit more about that. I know you gave us little bits and pieces, but like, what can someone expect from
Okay.
like
Sure.
your
Yeah.
course?
So basically, as whoever's watching this, if you guys know about my YouTube channel, Lonnie, of course, I already provide free content, whether they're strategies, tutorials, psychology. But my course will be built for beginners, right? So most beginners, they have no idea what Forex is, right? Through my mentorship, it really clicked upon me when people didn't even know what like a pip was, what a broker was, like leverage, all that stuff, just basic knowledge. And I had an idea to make a course that covers all of that, right? Most of my
Mhm.
courses, or most of the courses that I've watched, that I've actually purchased, just go straight from the introduction to all this advanced stuff. There's this huge gap that a lot of people are missing, and it's the fundamentals that really make like Forex traders confident in what they're learning. So my beginner course will cover like the basic stuff. It can cover retail concepts, how to set up your broker account, what is a pip, lot sizes, how to manage your account so you don't blow it, proper risk management, and then we can talk about strategies and all that stuff. So like my YouTube videos, they provide vague information, but then my course will go straight into detail, several examples, so that by the time you're done with my course, you will literally be able to hop on TradingView or whatever platform you use and trade on your own. So
Mhm.
my course is basically going to be like a speed route for anybody that wants to hop into Forex like this.
Right. That's awesome. That's super phenomenal to hear because I mean, even to also relate with that as well, like I have my own, I don't know if I've said this in the past because I know we're in a group chat and whatnot, but I also am starting a bit of my own trading course. Like right now, I have a trading group chat through Telegram, no charge, no nothing, where, constantly letting people know about, like, hey, this week is NFP news, or hey, dropping some kind of video and whatnot, helping people. Sometimes, me and another instructor as well, shout out to Preston. Guy is a second. He helps me in teaching as well. It's helping, yeah, people become independent. You know what I mean? It's just like, at the end of the day, it all just comes down to, a lot of people like to look for, I feel like, the shortcut. So they may look at these
Right.
like Forex MLMs like, oh well, they can do this for me. That's great. But it's just like, well, time out, think about it, step back. But whereas, and other people out there, like known Forex traders like, Swaggy C, Q Banks, not too, or Mamba FX. I know he has a signal chat too and
Yep.
whatnot. But either way, they also have stuff there to help people help people become independent traders. So what was it about it? What was it that made you say, you know what, I want to actually help these people become independent traders? Was it the experience in IML and thinking, wow, these people are literally, truth be told, getting scammed out of their money for this stuff? Or what was that? Like, what sparked that for you?
So for one, I know how it feels, right? To want to learn how to trade, to actually want to be dependent. I was literally in that position, right? So a part of me is like, I understand where people are coming from. You know, you're probably insecure. They don't have a lot of confidence in the market. And also another thing I noticed, because I'm kind of experimenting with my business and other services I provide. I have a whole signal chat and mentorship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Out of the two, more people are going to my mentorship. And I was like, okay, that's weird because I would think that people want to be dependent since they're coming from these MLMs. But no, it came upon me that people want to learn how to actually trade rather than have someone feed them the fish, right? They want to learn how to fish rather than having someone feed them the fish. I was like, okay, if that's the case, let me just try to provide something that can shorten their curve without them having to come to me 24/7. So after my course or mentorship, they'll be able to hop on TradingView and learn how to trade on their own. So my signal chat's kind of like I'm experimenting, but between the two, I noticed more people are going to my mentorship. So it makes more sense. You know, more people want to learn how to trade on their own, which is perfectly fine. And another thing, when it comes to like scammers, I'm glad you kind of mentioned Mamba X and all them. I'm not calling them scammers, but notice that if people are trying to sell something 24/7, it's because they're not making money from trading, right? They're not
Right.
making money from the main
Facts.
source, which is
Facts.
Forex. So I don't really need to promote my signal chat. It's kind of like, okay, if you're not gonna be on the chart, if you want to have signals from me, literally the signals, the trades I'm in, then you can be in my signal chat. But I advise people to go to my mentorship because I can give you all the knowledge and then you can do your own thing. You can create your own vehicle. If you want to start a brand, a business, you can because you have that knowledge. So Forex to me is like a vehicle, right? So my whole thing is why this is a quote that I like saying. You can quote me on this as well. But it's kind of like why play Simon Says when you can be Simon, right? Why go to these
Okay.
MLMs and literally copy all these people what they're telling you to do, hop in these trades and all that when you can literally take Forex as a vehicle and create something for yourself. That's literally what I did, right? I'm no different from anybody else, right? I was in IML Academy. I actually went from IML Academy to B because I thought it would be different, but it's still the same thing, right? It's still
All the
MLM. They're
same.
gonna push recruiting, but
Yeah.
but having that experience, I can help people avoid those mistakes. It's kind of like why go to someone and be dependent when you can literally take Forex as a vehicle and do so many things with it, right?
Right. So
So
many
yeah,
things. Yeah. And I'm really glad that you touched up on that about like what Forex can do. And you know what's crazy is honestly in today's society, or at least in the Forex society, nowadays I don't even like, saying I'm a Forex trader because of how bad of a
yep,
reputation, how bad of a narrative it gets
yep.
from these MLMs. Like seriously, like people, I've met people through. I remember one time, was last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, I was at the mall with a friend, and we there was one of those Bitcoin machines. So we were just like checking out because that was the first time I've seen the actual machines. I knew they were out there, but it was my first time seeing it. Somebody stopped by, they heard us chatting about Bitcoin money and whatnot. Talking about, oh hey man, hey man, like what do you trade and whatnot. At that point, I currency trader, which is still telling the truth, and it's not lying, but it's also the sole fact of there are so many people who have been exposed to some Forex MLM where they hear Forex, they're thinking they look at you now as scammer, or oh, you're trying to recruit, or nah, get away from me type thing. And I think pulling away from that, from like what you're doing, like building the course, I and others, creating these communities that way people can trade independently is definitely what's key to stabilizing that reputation of Forex and what it can do. Because there's a lot of
Exactly.
money. It can really, what I mean? It can really help somebody. Now, not on the spot, right? I tell people like that all the time. But it really can help somebody in the long term, short term, whatever it may be. But it's definitely a process to learning. So what is your advice, right? To the people who are maybe new to this, or maybe who are still watching this, who are new to like, the idea of Forex, what it is, how it works and whatnot. What is your advice to those people, or at least a rundown of like what to expect from it, especially when it comes to like losing? Because a lot of people,
Okay.
like I said, want to take the shortcut, and many of them want to take a shortcut because they don't want to lose and because they know they may give up, which is why so many, not so many, so few people are successful in the market. So, what would your take on that be?
My biggest advice for anybody watching this that's trying to get into Forex or kind of new, this might sound really silly, but you guys have to get used to losing money. You have to. You have to use to losing money. They always promote the winning trades, the profits. No one really shows their losing trades. You have to get used to losing trades because it's gonna mess with your emotions if you think you're always gonna win, right? The whole point of Forex is to manage your risk. So you could take one loss, but one win, you're still going to end your day in profit. But if you over leverage, if you try to put in multiple positions, then you're going to blow your account and then you're going to feel like you're a failure or this is a scam. But really you played yourself, right? You have to take a loss in the market. You have to learn from your losses. And if you learn from your losses, it's only going to make you a better trader.
Right.
So definitely manage your risk. And another thing, take your time. The market really isn't going anywhere. You guys have time. Be patient, and use your demo account. All right. That's the big one as well. Please at least practice in your demo account until you see consistent results in your demo account. Because if you can do whatever in your demo account, you can also do in your live account, right? The only difference is demo, it's not real money, right? But it's still the same concept. Are you hopping in the market, hopping in a live trade, and learning how to use proper risk management, right? Whether it's a 100K account, 10K account, 5K account, just practice trying to get small wins and grow that account to a certain number, whatever percentage, so you can do the same thing in your live account.
Right. Facts. Absolutely facts. I can't tell you how many times I preach like use your demos. They're there for a reason. But no, that was a really great insight on what to expect coming in and how to overcome those obstacles. Now, similar question that I got for you now is what is the number, which we probably both know, but what would you say is the worst emotion that someone could feel and how do they overcome this? So whether this is someone who is novice, so they have some experience, or like brand new, what's that one emotion that's like you would say is the absolute worst, and what's the best way to overcome it? It's not going to happen
Okay.
overnight either, and we know that, but like what's the best way?
Okay. So you're saying what's the worst thing that could happen?
Or at least like the worst emotion, like like there's greed, which I mean personally to me is the worst, but like in your case, what is your
Oh,
opinion
that's
of
a
the
good
worst?
question. Okay. I would I would say it's in between greed and like greed. I would say greed and like doubt.
Okay.
I would say greed because there will be some times in the market where you're kind of holding a certain position and you're kind of seeing results, right? And you
Right.
want to hop in again. You want to hop in again. Let's say you're using proper risk management, but you're in a trade. You see blue. You want to hop in again. You get greedy. You get greedy. But that's really going to mess up your overall psychology, right?
Fox.
It's really going to mess you up. I can tell you one experience I had when I first started trading. This is a bit embarrassing, but I'm gonna share it. This is when I started trading US 30. Okay. For
Oh
those of you
no.
that don't know, US 30 is an index, very volatile. You could make money fast. You could also lose money fast. Okay. And there was one time where I had about 1K in my account and I was trading with a zero point zero 0.06 lot size, I think. I can't really remember. Basically, I lost one trade. I was like down 200 or something. I wasn't using proper risk management. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm a pro. Let me hop in again. Let me revenge trade, right? So that's one thing I tell people not to do. If you go in a certain direction, you go in the opposite direction because you think you can just win it back. So I think it was in a buy,
Mhm.
and then I sold it right away. I was like, okay, I can make that back. And I was down like another 400, and I kept on doing it, and I kept on doing it, and I kept on doing it. So that has to do with greed only because previously I was on a win streak, right? I was on a win streak. I was doing good, and I was like, okay, if I can do this consistently, let me up the lots. Let me use a higher lot size. Let me avoid all proper risk management, and let me just kind of pretty much gamble, right?
Right.
So that's one
Absolutely.
thing you don't want to do because if you're consistently gaining profits, one bad trade, if you over leverage, all
That
that
might
hard work
take
is gone, right?
exactly. All
It's not
that,
worth
all
it.
that hard work, all that consistency you were just building, you just blew that because yeah, you had that mindset of I got this, I know what I'm doing. No, I completely understand, and I can relate to that as well. So this is actually back to my IML days. This was like when I was 3 months in, and I started with $20 like on a Monday. By Thursday, I got it up to like $600. Next thing you know, and I'm 3 months in, I'm thinking, I'm like, you know what? This isn't as bad as I thought. This ain't nothing. This is easy. I don't know why people fail. I actually had that question. I had
Yeah,
that thought in
right.
my mind. I'm like, I don't know how people can fail. Next thing you know, I'm over there messing with Nas. I'm messing with SPX, which are other indices, by the way. And next thing you know, it's like sell, where I was like buying and selling and I'm losing and losing. So if you want, I'm like, oh, it's no worry, but I'm gonna get that back right now. And
Yep, yep, yep.
next thing you know, that $600 I had went to zero in that
And
same.
the worst feeling is like it's probably going to continue down or it's going to hit a certain level, right? Because you know how to trade, but you're trading with how you feel. instead of what you see, right? So that's another thing I tell people: trade with what you see in the market. Don't trade with what you feel, because if you trade with your feelings, all that emotion is going to come into play. Again, no one likes you losing money, but if you guys lose a certain amount, you can say, hey, it's going to go back into profit, or hey, nah, I'm good. No,
Right.
if you're in drawdown and you see it's going against your analysis, hop out that trade, call it a day, rinse and repeat the next day, right?
Simple as that. So, and I'm actually glad you said that as well. Like talking about like, hey, like when you lose a trade, just handle like this, like stop for the day, relax, take a step back, maybe reanalyze, look over, hey, what did you miss? What did you do wrong? So I'm really glad that you had touched up on that point there. So what would you say, kind of leading on to this as well, account sizes, right? So a lot
Mm,
of people, and this is no, actually no, this is a huge one too. A lot of people who maybe get into forex, whether it's an MLM or they're learning from someone, but they just started. They're thinking, okay, I can turn this 1,000 into 10,000, 20,000 within the first week, 2 week, 3 weeks, just because they're looking at all these, gurus or whoever that's posing like they have it. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. So, what would you say people to expect when it comes to making money in the market,
okay.
like the process of it?
Yeah, I have a good advice for that. So one big tip that I have for anybody that's starting new: use forex as a side hustle first, right? So if you have a job, work that job, be the best employer and compound your account each week. So if you guys make like 100 a week, let's just say you make 100 a week, split that check, put 50 into your account and constantly grow your account, right? And you want to make sure that your side hustle forex isn't something that you rely on. So whether it's your job, compound your account until forex is your main job, and then your job turns into your side hustle. So until you start making more money from forex, then you can turn your job into a side hustle, and then you do whatnot. But you want to make sure you have a backup plan and don't rely on forex first thing, right? Because emotion is going to be a big part of it. If you rely on forex as at first and treat it as your job, you might be down a certain amount of money. You say, no, I need to make this back ASAP. And then you're not going to use
Right.
risk management. You're going to blow your account, and then you're going to look stupid, right? So my whole thing is, don't rush the process. Make sure you compound and you have a compound plan so that you can have a backup, right? Don't trade with something you can't afford to lose, right?
Simple.
So that's really all it is, guys. Make sure you have a backup plan and do not treat forex as something as important until you see results, until you
Right.
see consistent results.
Absolutely. And that's, I mean, couldn't have said it any better. No one should ever be, trading to their last dollar, and I've known people who have done that. Like, this is all I have left. It was, all their bills for that month. If he, this person lost it, which he did, he was, evicted and that's what happened because
Mm,
I mean, he was also in MLM as well, but also in the sense of like, he threw his money out. He was just hoping, he was relying on it because he was just like, man, I need more money, more money. So I mean, yeah, at that point, yeah, like everything that Lonnie, you just said is absolutely spot on. And at that point, keep studying and just practice on your demo. Find other side hustles that you could do to build more income and stability. In that case, that's super
right.
awesome, man. So just a few more questions for you. So I know we've been basically covering a foundation of like trading, what it's like trading, what to expect, what you will run into as well. What is your long-term goal? Whether it's trading, you have other business ideas, or maybe something with your own trading community. What is your personal long-term goal that you're going to accomplish?
Okay. My long-term goal. So of course I'm trying to because again, I feel like I'm at the very beginning. I'm not even at my prime with this whole trading with Lonnie thing. It's kind of like I just started throughout the pandemic, but I'm
Right.
I'm starting to see how it's impacting other people. So with this whole brand, eventually I'm gonna start doing like giveaways for the community. I'm gonna start doing live sessions on YouTube. That's coming very soon. Merch, of course, and then of course YouTube. And my whole mission at the very beginning was just to kind of create a very transparent for a community, because as you can tell, the community is very toxic. But I really want to make a transparent, safe community for people to come in, not really come to me, but there's other traders in the community that they can go to for resources. And we can all kind of help each other along with our independent journeys, right? So my whole mission is to create a safe journey and environment for other traders. So whether I'm doing like mentorship for other people, trading sessions, and of course giveaways like I just mentioned. I want people to feel like Forex is something they can actually accomplish, right? Because as it is, Forex is a hard skill. You have to learn it, but I want to try to make it easier for most people that don't really have a backup plan, right? They don't have things they can look back on. They have to, work on something and put their best effort into it. But since the market isn't guaranteed, there's a lot of hard things to look forward to, like MLMs that don't really teach Forex concepts. They really push out recruiting, which is something that you really shouldn't be doing if you're trying to learn Forex. But my whole mission is to create a better path for people to learn at a faster rate. So in the long run, in the future, honestly, I can see myself just helping people and doing my thing on a day-to-day basis, whether I'm doing live streaming on YouTube and just yeah, that's pretty much it. Kind of like a I guess I can call it a business, like a digital business. I don't know, because it's not an office, but you get what I'm saying. Like kind of like my own network of I don't know what to call it, but
Your own community, basically.
own community. Yeah, I don't know what to call it yet, but you get what I'm saying.
But you're good, man. So, no, dude, thank you. And the last question for today. I mean, this has been, by the way, super phenomenal. I think you've had a lot of great value that you've been dropping. So first things first, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
The last question, and this may be hard because you've already dropped a lot. What is your one piece of advice you want to leave for whether it's entrepreneurs, traders, or whatnot? But basically, in a sense of to break it down, what's your advice to that person who wants to get started, but basically maybe they're too afraid to get started? They have worries,
Okay.
doubts.
I'm gonna keep it simple as this. We all have the same 24 hours, all right? I want you to really think about that because most people my age, especially, I guess you can relate on this as well. We like to spend our time on things that aren't really beneficial, right? Whether it's going out, going to parties, talking to that one girl and chasing other things. You
Yep.
guys have to realize your 24 hours is no different from someone else that's doing the same thing, right? The only difference is they're taking their time to learn the skill and to actually put in the work. That's all it is, guys. You have to put in the work. People can say it sounds good in your head. Yeah, it's easy, 24 hours, but physically you have to get out. You have to get out of that zone, get off of the bed, get off the couch, stop playing video games and read a book, pick up a course, open up TradingView, back test. You have to put in the work, you have to practice, and you have to use your hours wisely. That's all it is. We all have the same 24 hours. It's up to you to decide how you use them, plain and simple.
That was phenomenal. I love that you ended on a high note right there. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Lonnie. And other than that, guys, that's all we have for this episode. Lonnie, I know I'm going to drop your information in the description below, but if you'd like to on video right now, feel free to let people know where they can follow you, where they can follow your keep up with when your course comes out and whatnot. So go ahead, man.
You guys can follow me up on Instagram. I trade with Lonnie. Of course, you'll leave my IG in the description. And of course, you can join my free Discord. It is a safe community like I was talking about. We talk about trade ideas. We go over news, analysis, and it's a general good place to start for anybody that is new. So again, guys, thank you for having me on this. It was lovely. I'm glad I was here.
It was phenomenal. Like I was thinking, you were phenomenal to have on. It was phenomenal to meet you as well. Like watching your videos from your YouTube, I'm like, dude, great vibe, knows what he's talking about. And then being here face to face, I'm thinking this is awesome. This is really, really great. So till then, guys, thank you so much for those who've been sticking by, watching this podcast, watching this episode. Gonna drop all the links and information of Lonnie down in the description below, guys. In the meantime, I'll see you all in the next video, guys. Peace out. Have a good one.